10 bottlenecks, and they accepted them. I was very happy that they accepted them. And that document could be given to the Secretariat. The 10 strategic bottlenecks, all of them must be handled at the same time. And that's what we are doing here. When you hear that our economy is now picking up, last year it had gone down to 3% at one time, but last year it grew by 6.1%. This year it has grown by 6.3%, and it will go to 7% and even beyond. Why? Because we are beginning to deal with all the bottlenecks. We have not completed. We have tackled the one of electricity. We have not completed it. When we complete it, I can assure you things will move much faster. Then transport. When the standard gauge railway gets to Kisumu, we can connect with them by water, and that will make transport cheaper by how much, Amelia, per container? Do you remember those figures?
Yes, sir.
We are now using the railway to go to Mombasa, the road to go to Mombasa. And we spend how much per
container?
Yes.
Per container now is about $2,800 US dollars. But now if we use the rail, it will be about 1,718.
Almost a half.
Almost a half.
Yes. So I would want to appeal to all of you, especially the intellectuals and the planners, to deal with the issue of development comprehensively, not in patches. You cannot modernize if you don't address the basics. And I think if we address the basics, we can compete. We export to the US in spite of the bottlenecks which are still there, like the high cost of electricity, the high cost of transport. But you find that we export and we are competitive, taking advantage of AGOA. Fish goes to the US. Textiles go to the US. Cooking oil. This is not speaking of regional trade. Regional trade, we easily displace. Like recently, some investors started producing industrial ceramics here in Uganda. And in no time, our products displaced the imported ones from China. For the regional market, it's very, very easy to chase foreign products for the internal and the regional market, if we have the basics in place. But even before we have had all the basics in place, we are already displacing these imported products. The cost of electricity is still, I want to bring it to 5 cents a unit, American cents. It is still now at what, 8 cents or what?
The cost of
electricity per unit.
Per unit is still at 7, 8 cents.
Yes, 8 cents.
Yes, sir.
But I want to bring it to 5 cents. But at 8 cents, these products which we make here are already displacing the imported ones in the internal and in the regional market. So for me, I am very sure that if we handle all the bottlenecks, including market integration, we cannot fail. So I thank you very much. I don't think there's anything I have forgotten. Let me see here. Yes, Dr. Kitui made a good point about 20% of human knowledge between when the man emerged from I would worry about, because it is possible that new knowledge can bring new material science, not only just the electronics, but the clothing, the housing, they may bring some new materials, synthetic materials or new ones. When those come up, we shall have to respond. But as long as we still have these old materials, I think we have a good chance. Steel, cement, copper products, wood products, foods. I don't think they are likely to come with new foods. I don't think they will produce food which will replace carbohydrates and proteins and fats. That one is not likely. So let's not panic. Let's take advantage of the electronics and improve what we have. Do you have scientists here? Or we just brought economists only? Where are the scientists? We don't have any scientists whom you brought. Where are they? This young one, you come here and I see you. And the other one behind, that's a bit older, you come. What scientists are you? What did you study? The what?
I'm a designer and an entrepreneurship research of an application that is being
A designer? Or electronic, where are you studying?
Macquarie University.
What course?
I'm a student. A student.
Law? You are a lawyer? Okay. This is a good. This is an engineer of cement. You are a civil engineer. Electrical. That's a bit interesting. And you, what are you?
I did industrial laboratory.
Industrial laboratory. Where?
Oh,
okay. So please, thank you very much. This one is an electrical engineer. In this discussion, one of the weaknesses I see when you go to planning, that's why recently they brought names for the National Planning Authority, and I didn't accept them because there was nobody, no scientists. They just bring economists and lawyers and people like that. But life is about science. How will you plan if you don't have the knowledge of science? And science is very well structured because it is really the understanding nature, the natural laws. So if you don't have, when you have meetings like this, you should invite scientists so that they're here and help you, even in your secretariat. Because I get a problem when you have got people who are not scientists. You really get, my army background taught me to be careful when you don't have scientists. Scientists can help you. Chemists, biochemistry, physics, electronics, mechanical.
Mr. President, as they come up, just also a reminder that the chairperson will be reading the communique of the conference.
Okay.
So we're just ending, this is the last panel session, Your Excellency.
Okay.
But my colleagues can still proceed.
But I wanted them to. The only thing that you don't have a scientist among you.
Banang, Chairman.
The chairman is who?
He's him,
Is he a
sir.
scientist?
No, but he's taking notes, sir.
This Karim
members of our last session, on behalf of the board, I want to thank you so much. You are Thank you so much. Your Excellencies, we do not take this for granted. The time you've put in from your busy schedule, we want to thank you, and thank you so much. And also, do request that when we come to you, please always do the same, and also pass on the message to your other colleagues in other African countries to participate, and we develop Africa. For the delegates, thank you for the conversation. This was what we intended to have, and we've held it very well just because of your time, discussion, and as a center, we appreciate. We've been guided. We are going to read a communique out of this summit, and we hope we shall always achieve our objectives, and with your help. Where we have gone wrong, we are just almost 1 year. We are sorry. However, we can assure
Distinguished participants, please allow me to break protocol. I shouldn't say this anymore, but I want to make an observation on an issue that was itching me since yesterday, but I could not get opportunity to say it. This is about youth. I think part of the problems we have is taking youth as a project. We should not take the issues of youth as a project. We are talking about skilling. We are talking about restructuring our education systems. But at the same time, we are not talking of the drivers, the causes of all these problems. Your Excellency, President Museveni, you alluded to this about overpopulation. And even then, we are talking about urban youth. We are not talking about the mass majority of youth in rural settings. In Africa today, generally, we have the highest number of teenage pregnancies. We have the highest number of fathers who are 17 years old, teenage fathers. And of course, they drop out of school. When they drop out of school, they're trying to find casual labor. But in the process, they're marrying more wives and producing more children. In the process, they're getting diverted on all kinds of issues. We need to think of an integrated approach, a comprehensive approach that can address the issues of youth rather than talking of just skilling the symptoms that we're dealing with. I thought I would make that observation before I take on the task I've been asked to carry out. Joint communique on the occasion of the Africa Now conference, co-hosted by His Excellency the President of Uganda, Yoweri Museveni, on the 12th and 13th of March 2019 at the Speak Resort, Munyonyo. At the invitation of the President of the Republic of Uganda,